Hey, welcome to another video. So today we're going to be going into the entire life of Aemond Targaryen, but before I begin, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Sith Citadel Discord, links in the description, and consider becoming a join member or sending a super thanks if you wish to further support the channel. Otherwise, let's jump straight into it. Prince Aemond, also known as Aemond One-Eye, and later Aemond the Kingslayer, was a pivotal figure in the history of House Targaryen. He was the second son of King Viserys I and Queen Alicent Hightower, making him the younger brother of King Aegon II Targaryen. As a dragon rider, Aemond claimed and rode the mighty dragon Vhagar, cementing his place as one of the most formidable members of his house. Born in 110 AC, Aemond entered a royal court already rife with tension. His birth to King Viserys and Queen Alicent further complicated the Targaryen family dynamic, as the king had previously named his daughter Princess Rhaenyra as heir to the Iron Throne. Despite the arrival of two healthy sons, Aegon and Aemond, Viserys refused to alter the line of succession, intensifying divisions within the court. The royal court eventually split into two factions, the Queen's party, which supported Alicent and her children, and the party of the princess loyal to Rhaenyra. This rivalry trickled down to the children, with Aemond and his siblings harboring resentment towards Rhaenyra's three sons, Jaehaerys, Lucerys, and Joffrey Velaryon, whom they viewed as usurpers of their birthright. Aemond grew up as a bold and willful child, with a hot temper and an unforgiving nature. Despite being smaller at birth than his older brother Aegon, who he noted to be twice as fierce. As he matured, he developed into a skillful swordsman under the tutelage of Sir Criston Cole, Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. By the age of 10, Aemond had yet to claim a dragon of his own. Unlike his siblings, this became a point of frustration for him, especially as he witnessed the accomplishments of his family members. In 120 AC, during the funeral of his brother-in-law Sir Laenor Velaryon at Driftmark, Aemond decided to take a bold and dangerous step. Ignoring his father's suggestion to claim a dragon egg or hatchling on Dragonstone, Aemond set his sights on Vhagar, the largest and oldest living dragon, who had recently been riderless after the death of Laena Velaryon. Knowing his parents would never permit such a daring attempt, Aemond approached Vhagar in secret. Aemond successfully mounted Vhagar and flew 2 circles over Driftmark, solidifying his status as dragon rider. However, his actions did not go unnoticed. His 3-year-old nephew Joffrey Velaryon caught him in the act, and when Joffrey tried to raise the alarm, Aemond retaliated by shoving the boy into the dragon droppings. The commotion alerted Joffrey's older brothers, Jaehaerys and Lucerys, and a fight ensued. The confrontation escalated when Aemond insulted his nephews, calling them Strongs, a reference to the rumors that they were bastards fathered by Sir Harwin Strong rather than Laenor Velaryon. Jaehaerys attacked Aemond with a wooden training sword, but Aemond gained the upper hand. In defense of his brother, Lucerys drew a dagger and slashed Aemond's face, permanently taking out his right eye. The injury led to significant repercussions within the Targaryen family. Queen Alicent demanded that Lucerys lose an eye as retribution, but King Viserys refused to allow further violence. Meanwhile, Princess Rhaenyra demanded an investigation at who spread rumors about her son's parentage, a move that risked exposing the growing divide within the family. Under pressure, Aemond admitted that he had heard the term Strongs from his older brother, Prince Aegon. Despite the trauma of losing an eye, Aemond famously declared that it was a fair price for gaining Vhagar. He replaced his lost eye with a sapphire and often wore an eye patch, adding to his fearsome reputation. Over time, Aemond became a dangerous and skilled warrior, earning recognition as one of the deadliest swordsmen in his era. The enmity between Aegon and Rhaenyra's sons only deepened over the years. At a feast in 127 AC held to celebrate King Viserys' return to health, Aemond mocked his nephews with a pointed toast, referring to them as 3 strong boys. This public sight underscored the growing tensions within the family. Tensions that would later erupt into the civil war known as the Dance of the Dragons. Aemond's early life, marked by boldness, ambition, and tragedy, set the stage for his future role as central figure in one of Westeros' most devastating conflicts. His claim to Vhagar and the infamous loss of his eye cemented his legacy as a Targaryen prince who was fierce as he was controversial. Aemond Targaryen played a pivotal and controversial role during the civil war known as the Dance of the Dragons, a conflict that split House Targaryen and Westeros in two. In 129 AC, at the age of 19, Aemond's father, King Viserys I, passed away, sparking a war of succession. Despite his elder sister Rhaenyra Targaryen being named heir, Aemond's older brother Aegon II was crowned king by their supporters, the Greens. The Greens sought to consolidate their hold on the throne and prevent Rhaenyra from challenging Aegon's claim. To secure alliances, Aemond was sent to Storm's End to court Lord Borros Baratheon, promising to marry one of his daughters in exchange for Borros' loyalty. During Aemond's visit, Prince Lucerys Velaryon, Rhaenyra's son, arrived as an envoy on behalf of his mother. When Lucerys arrived, tensions ran high. Aemond, who had lost an eye to Lucerys years earlier, attempted to provoke his nephew. He declared that Lucerys owed him an eye and threatened retribution. However, Lord Borros refused to allow a fight under his roof. While Lucerys departed on his dragon Arax, Aemond's fury grew with Borros Baratheon's daughter, Maris, mocked him, questioning his manhood. Seeking vengeance, Aemond mounted his colossal dragon, Vhagar, and pursued Lucerys through a violent storm. The chase ended in tragedy. Vhagar, far larger and more experienced than Arax, overwhelmed the smaller dragon. The stormy skies erupted with dragonfire as Vhagar tore Arax apart, killing Lucerys. Some accounts, notably those of the jester Mushroom, claimed Aemond desecrated Lucerys' corpse, gouging out his eyes to present them to Lady Maris on a bed of seaweed. Regardless of the exact details, this act branded Aemond as a kinslayer, a stain on his honor that would follow him for the rest of his short life. Lucerys' death had devastating consequences. While Aemond's mother and grandfather were horrified by his actions, King Aegon celebrated the act with a grand feast. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra's husband, Prince Aemond Targaryen, vowed vengeance, promising Rhaenyra a son for a son. Daemon orchestrated the infamous assassination of Aegon's son, Jaehaerys, through the mercenaries' blood and cheese, further escalating the war. Aemond continued to fight for the Greens, proving himself a ruthless and skilled warrior. He participated in the battle at Rook's Rest, where he and his brother Aegon faced Princess Rhaenys Targaryen and her dragon Meleys. While Rhaenys and Meleys perished, Aegon was gravely injured, leaving Aemond to rule as Prince Regent and protector of the realm during Aegon's recovery. As regent, Aemond donned the iron and ruby crown of Aegon the Conqueror, reportedly remarking that it suited him better than it ever did Aegon. Alongside Sir Criston Cole, the Hand of the King, Aemond led the Green's armies. They recaptured Harrenhal, executed its defenders, and used it as a base for a campaign of terror throughout the Riverlands. Aemond's relationship with Alys Rivers, a mystic who had become his lover and possibly bore his child, added further intrigue to his time at Harrenhal. Aemond's campaign of destruction in the Riverlands drew the attention of Prince Daemon. After searching fruitlessly for Aemond, Daemon eventually challenged him to single combat. Aemond arrived at Harrenhal on Vhagar, accompanied by the pregnant Alys Rivers. After a brief farewell to Alys, Aemond and Daemon mounted their dragons and took to the skies for the infamous battle above the God's Eye. This aerial duel between Vhagar and Caraxes was a sight of terrifying beauty. The fiery clash lit the skies, and the roars echoed for miles. The battle ended when Caraxes attacked Vhagar from her blind side, locking his jaws on her throat. As the dragons grappled, Daemon leapt from Caraxes and landed on Vhagar's back. In a final act of defiance, Daemon drove his sword Dark Sister through Aemond's blind eye. Moments later, the dragons crashed into the God's Eye Lake. Both riders and their dragons perished in the fall. Years later, Aemond's body was recovered by the lake, still chained to Vhagar's saddle, with Dark Sister buried in his skull. The battle solidified his reputation as a fierce warrior and cemented his place in history as one of the most infamous figures of the Dance of the Dragons. Alys Rivers claimed to be Aemond's widow and presented a son she declared the trueborn child and rightful king. Though her claims were dismissed by most, they added to the mystique surrounding Aemond and his legacy. Aemond Targaryen's life and death symbolized the tragic downfall of House Targaryen during the Dance of the Dragons. His ambition, rage, and actions helped fuel a war that shattered the realm and led to the near extinction of the dragons. So what did you guys think of Aemond Targaryen? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Sith Citadel Discord, links in the description, and consider becoming a join member or sending a super thanks if you wish to further support the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.